Hi everyone. Today we talk about the second of the key elements of the last layer of my belief and value system, that is strategy. So I wrote a few articles in the past about this aspect, this topic, this subject, because I'm very passionate about it. I'll refer to it during this video. You'll find the link below. Feel free to get there if you want more information about it. Today I will just try to highlight a few key elements of it. So, strategy. Strategy is, for me, a process. It's a process of realizing and assessing where we are, where we want to go, what's between us and the objective that we want to achieve, and how we want to get there. And all of it is an iterative process. So I see this pretty much as a navigation system. You put the destination, knowing where you are at the moment, and then you try to define a route. But this route is dynamic. It means that every time that something changes in the environment, in the conditions around us, for the navigation system is the traffic, the fact that for whatever reason we had to take a diversion to the suggested path, anything like that, we recalculate. So strategy is exactly the same thing. So constantly we reassess where we are, constantly we confirm if the objective is the same or if it changes for whatever reason, and constantly we try to assess what is between us and what we want to achieve. And using that, all this information, we build the best credible path to get there. So, as usual, there is a very powerful quote for this subject that comes from Eisenhower and says that in preparing for battle, I always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. So this, I think, is a very key element because especially in the engineering community, sometimes there is a misconception about plans, and they are seen as a tedious exercise, as a sort of an admin, something that is very often imposed and is done just because we have to do it, a tick in the box. Well, that's really a mistake. And is a mistake for exactly what Eisenhower meant. So probably the planning itself is not really a tool that will be so useful. And the reason is because things change so quickly in our environment that yes, the plan in itself is not really what can help us, but the activity, the process of going through it, the process of creating this plan is fundamental. So I see this from using my background, that is control system, control theory, and there is a fundamental difference between a control system that is completely oblivious of what is trying to control and simply check the current status against the error and try to control, is the classical PID control. And because this kind of system is always in delay, so by definition, if I need to wait for to see the difference between where I am and where I want to be, to try to define where I want to, how much I want to control, I will always be in delay and I will always be reactive to this status. So modern control theories are all about knowing the system. So most of the controls that are effective when they know and they can model the system that they want to control, and they can model also the noise, the error that they expect to have. So of course, this is much more complex and requires much more knowledge of the problem, but then it allows us to be predictive. Predictive is a critical topic, because predictive means that I don't generate my actions based only on what I can see today, but I generate my actions based on what I believe is going to happen in the future to try to be ahead of the problem. So even here, there is a very, very powerful quote that comes from one of the greatest hockey player in history, Wayne Gretzky, that said once, "We skate where the puck will be, not where it has been." So this is crucial, because this is how we do many activities in our lives. So we don't. Have you ever seen a cheetah trying to hunt an antelope? The cheetah doesn't simply follow the path of the antelope. It tries every single time to cut the corner, to get a bit closer, because it needs to recover a gap. This is the same for us. So in summary, strategy is fundamental in our job, because together with being in control, allow us to build strategies and plans, and most importantly, allow us to grow in knowledge of ourselves, in knowledge about the surrounding, the environment, and allow us to be much more able to predict what is coming ahead of us, and being predictive in the actions that we take. As usual, thanks for listening and watching. See you next time. Have a good day.